Hello, I'm Chashaun Matthews, which means one who wonders of love. I am from Baltimore, Maryland, the Charm City. My parents are Roland James Matthews and Alnita Thornton. I was raised on the east side of the house, Hoffman Homestead area. I grew up in a great neighborhood, surrounded by people who really cared and about my growth and me becoming the best that I could be in those times. I graduated high school, one of the tops of my class. I went on to go to college and play baseball. I also had a military career in the United States Navy as a hospital corpsman. After pursuing my career in the United States Navy, I decided to become a doctor of chiropractic, because it just made so much sense to me. While in the Navy, I've seen so many people get addicted to prescription drugs and also use drugs that were not necessary. And when I found chiropractic, which also helped me, just made so much sense to me, and I've seen how I could change people's lives without being being non-invasive. So I decided to make my journey down here to the Great Life University, which is the #1 chiropractic school in the nation and will probably always will be, to pursue my dream of becoming a doctor of chiropractic and educating my community as well as the world about chiropractic and how it can benefit them. While at White Life University, I came down here free and happy and accepting of all things that I would encounter. And I'd say it was my second week here at the school when I noticed this young lady, and I asked who she was and I was introduced to her, but she didn't pay me any attention. She just spoke and kept on going on. Maybe about 2 years later, I finally saw her again, and we decided to have a conversation, and that conversation was very interesting, but it was very brief. So I kept seeing her over and over again because she works in the Student Success Center where we do a lot of our studying. And then from then we just became friends and had quite a few conversations. But as we all know, I was a little too much for her at first. And she kept giving me the runaround. So, you know, she kept saying, oh no, not yet, not yet, not yet. So I just walked up to her and said, look girl, are you gonna have time for me this quarter? And she was like, yes, I am. She was waiting for me to be assertive. You know, that nice guy role wasn't working too tough. So I said, well, when you want to go? She said, tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that because I was kind of broke. But I got some money up. And we had our first dinner date down in Atlantic Station here in Atlanta. And from that point on, you know, it was on. She was all over me, you know. I couldn't help it, you know. It's, you know, that animal magnetism that I got there, that desire, you know. I drive the ladies crazy sometimes. Well, all the time, not sometimes. But no, it was a good date. I got to know more about her. She got to know more about me. And from that point on, we've pretty much been inseparable. The biggest thing was that I already had 2 beautiful girls. And when she met those 2 young ladies and they accepted her and she accepted them like they knew each other for the rest of their whole lives, it was clear to me then that this was the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. So after that, I waited a little bit. You know, I saved up a little bit of change, you know, about $10, and got a little bubblegum ring, and you know, called her daddy and like, hey Pops, what's going on? And he was like, oh, nothing. I said, you want me to take your daughter off your hands? He's like, be my guest, I've been waiting for this for a long time. So we decided to go home to Kansas, and then in front of her family, which is very important to her, I decided to propose, and she just laughed at me. She thought I was joking, but I was serious. I don't know why she was laughing. I guess it was laughter of happiness. But then I was like, I asked you to marry me, and she was like, oh, okay, yeah, I will. So after that, we decided to get married in Atlanta, Georgia, where we are, and y'all about to see a great wedding soon, because I'm gonna tear something, I'm gonna be sharp. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna do the electric slide, we're gonna do the cha-cha shuffle, all that good stuff, you know, all them songs that tell you how to dance. But if you're a real dancer, you really don't need to know how to dance. You just play any music like I am, and my whole family, my brothers, all of us, we dancers. We do our thing on the dance floor, so you be ready to look out for that. Well, since we've been together, Alicia has been a very active part of my life, indulging in things that I like or that's important to me. My girls are one of the most important things to me, and I only get them in the summer and in the winter time. So during the summer we do as much as we can. We take trips. Like one time we went to Whitewater. Alicia went with us to Whitewater, and we had a good time, you know, all on the slides and the wave pool and stuff like that. They also did something very special for me by making me cupcakes, red velvet, which is my favorite. For, you know, anybody want to get me a present, red velvet cupcakes, red velvet cakes. You know, I love that cream cheese filling, though, or in the inside or icing on the top, cream cheese. Also, I do a lot of volunteering community service work because I'm here to serve. What good are you if you don't share your talents with the world? And the organizations that I belong to, Prince Hall Masonry, Hama Hama Lodge number 35, Seattle, Washington, where that was made. Also, the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, the Pi Omega chapter, is where I was made in Baltimore, Maryland. We have service events, and she joins in with me on these events, like when we have the Omega Ball, which honors Omega Man of the Year, as well as inviting the community people that we have served and given scholarships and things like that. It's a very good time. You get to see the rewards for all the business and the work that we do during the year, and she has been a part of that to witness the community service as well, the awards that come from it. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little segment dedicated to our love and our union that's coming. I hope that everyone enjoys me, will enjoy the wedding, and I give special thanks to everyone that has taken the time, had the patience, and the commitment to make our day special for us. And I will see you soon.
Hi, my name is Alicia Marie Marshall, and I was born in Kansas City, Kansas. So there's a Missouri side and there's a Kansas side, and I was born on the Kansas side. I was born and raised there, and I have 3 brothers, Calvin, Scott, and Anthony. Scott is actually the oldest though. And my parents' names are Calvin Marshall Jr. and Linda Marshall. I have 9 nieces and nephews, and the oldest one actually just started her freshman year of college, and the youngest one is about a year and a half old. So I have a huge range of nieces and nephews, and most of them will all be here for the wedding, which I'm really excited about. So I was raised in Kansas City, and I lived there until I was 18 years old, and I left and moved to Tennessee, where I went to the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga. And then after that, I moved to Atlanta, where I live now, and began my chiropractic education at Life University. I decided to come to Life University, one, because it's the best chiropractic college in the nation, in the world. It's the best place to go if you're wanting to be a chiropractor. The reason why I chose chiropractic, originally I was going to be a physical therapist, and then I ended up meeting a chiropractor in undergrad and went to her office. And a lot of people think chiropractic is just about neck pain and back pain, and originally I did go for headaches, which I had every day since I was probably 15 years old, and I used to take like 5 Advils at a time. And ever since my first adjustment, I didn't have any more headaches after that, or any low back pain, which wasn't as bad, but it was still a chronic issue. So from there, she started educating me about what chiropractic was really about, and it's dealing with the nervous system, and that the nervous system controls everything in our bodies, from our heart to the muscle in our big toe, to our lungs functioning. It controls everything. And our nervous system is protected by our spine, and that's where chiropractors come in. So if there's any misalignments in the spine, it can put pressure on those nerves, and cause some type of interference or problems with healing or problems with the way that the body functions. So that made a whole lot of sense to me, and that's why I wanted to become a chiropractor. It was something that was non-invasive and that I could help people with different conditions and different things in their lives, but basically to help people be healthier. So I came to life in 2006. I met Sean in the fall of 2007 at a First Tuesday event that my school has every quarter. One of my sorority sisters came and introduced us, from what Sean tells me, but I don't really remember. I had a lot going on that day and different things going on. So I don't remember, but I do have a picture of him in all of my photos. So he had a broken foot that day, but he still went out on the dance floor. Well, it wasn't a dance floor, it's concrete, but in the courtyard area, and was trying to dance. So apparently I took a picture of that because I thought it was cute or interesting or whatever reason, but I ended up finding it later. So we met in 2007, and then we really didn't see each other again until the beginning of 2009. I even took a quarter off from school and went and lived in Peru for a while just to kind of explore the country and the culture. So when I came back in 2009, I worked in the Student Success Center, and I was over the learning lab where him and his friends would come in and study all the time. So he would come in and he would talk to me, and we'd have little conversations here and there. And then in March, he asked me if I wanted to go out. So I told him sure. I gave him my number, and he told me he had hop practice that night. So I said okay. So he calls me about 10:30 saying he just got a hop practice and still needs to go home and take a shower. Is it too late to go out? Yes, it's too late to go out. So I told him it was too late and we'd have to go out a different time. So it was during our spring break, and he ended up going home during the spring break. And during that time, I just kind of decided that I was going to be single for a while and not date anybody at all. So when he came back, he wanted to go out, and I told him, you know, I'm just gonna be single for a while. This has nothing to do with you at all. I know sometimes people say that it's not you, it's me, but it really was me. I just wanted to take some time and just be by myself for a while. So I did that, and kind of my point was to work on my relationship with God, which is most important to me, and I felt like I needed to do that before getting into another serious relationship with anybody. So probably about 6 months later, I decided to start dating again, and that's when he approached me and asked me if I was gonna make time for him this quarter. So I said, okay, let's go ahead and go out Saturday for lunch. And we ended up going out Saturday for lunch, and we've been together ever since. Some of my favorite memories with Sean is our first Valentine's Day, where he's very artsy crafty, so he made me this whole little basket that had all types of little stuff in it. We've gone to the Omega Ball together, and that was a really, really fun time for us. We got to dress up and wear a gown. Of course, I haven't done anything like that since high school prom, and not again until we get married. So it was a really fun event to get to go to and dress up, have a good time together. When Sean proposed, I didn't know he was going to propose at all. We went home to my parents for New Year's, and all day we were just at my parents' house, and we decided to switch locations and go to my brother Anthony's house. So I just asked him, you know, should I shower and, you know, get dressed up and go over there, because it was New Year's Eve, but we're just gonna be with family. He said, yeah, go ahead and do that. So I went ahead and, you know, changed and put on some clothes and everything, and we went over there. And then I took off my boots as soon as I got over there, because I like to be barefoot. So I took those off, and the whole night he keeps telling me, like, go put your boots back on. And I'm like, no thank you. So he just keeps telling me, and then he was like, well, it's about to, time's counting down for the new year. go put your boots back on. So I say, okay. So I go put my boots back on, and when I do that, he gets up and goes in the back room and then comes and sits back down. And then Chase brings me a card. So I sit back down and I open up the card, and I'm just reading it to myself, and my mom's like, read it out loud. I'm like, okay. And I didn't get it because it was a poem and it was really sweet, but all these people are looking at me, so I'm like, okay. And then he gets down on one knee and he's opened up the box with the ring and stuff, and I was just completely shocked. So I'm just sitting there. I don't really remember what he said or anything. I was just very shocked and very excited. And then my mom, I think, was like, answer him. So I told him yes. And then I just hugged him and everything, and everybody in my family, most people were able to be there to see that, which I really liked. And it was just really exciting. So since then, you know, we've moved forward with the wedding plans. And actually right after he proposed, I was already leaving for Peru maybe 2 weeks later. So I spent the first 5 months of the year in Peru, and then but came back for part 3 boards and picked out the wedding dress and all of that type of stuff, and then we ended up conceiving during that time. And so we're looking forward to having a little girl here at the end of November. One of my favorite things here about Life University is that we have miles and miles of walking trails here. It's a very serene and quiet campus. We have a 19th century village that goes along some of the walking trails, and they were actually brought here by the founder of the university because he really liked that part of history. So it's here in their actual houses from that time. We also have the Tolerance Torch, which was given to the school by the 1996 Olympics. There's a lot of history that is entailed with that. And one of the really cool things is that when chiropractic was first founded, chiropractors were jailed for practicing medicine, so they say. And chiropractors would go to jail time after time after time because they refused to give up the profession. So we have a little area where the founder of our university is doing a toggle adjustment with his hands, which is one of the most important adjustments that you can do to the spine. It's to the atlas, and it's his hands, and it's right next to the bell tower, which is the exact size of the jail cells that the chiropractors were jailed in, and inside that they have all the names of all the chiropractors that were jailed for our profession. One of the wonderful things about being with Sean and the opportunity that I've been given is that in all of this I've received 2 more daughters, my first 2 daughters actually, and I just love them so much like they're my own since the very first day that I met them and I came in the house and Chase is looking at me like, who are you? And Cameron just automatically like, can I call you mommy? So both of them, I love them so much, and I enjoy having them with me for the entire summer and the breaks and Christmas time. Whenever we can get them, they are mine, and I'm looking forward to very soon when we'll all have the same last name, and I really will be their mother. Here on campus, we have a lot of memories. One specifically from his birthday. I had taken him out for a picnic right here on our campus because there's just such wonderful places. We have the lake here where you can just sit and talk and eat and enjoy yourself, and then we have the trails and the houses over by the trails where you can just walk and be together. I absolutely love that about our campus, and it's really given us opportunity to just spend some real quality time together while we've been here at school. I would just like to thank everyone who is a part of our lives and has been a part of making and helping our relationship to grow and develop. I really look forward to our wedding, which is coming up in just a few days, and I thank everyone who has been a part of making and helping to create that day so it will be a special moment for both of us to remember. Thank you so much.